Thank you very much. Our next guest lost to President Obama in the race for an Illinois Senate seat in 2004. Now she is a radio talk show host in 50 stations around the country. She is based in Chicago.
Nancy Skinner agrees with the way President Obama is handling the economy, but more importantly, let's talk autos. You think they should be saved. You're from Detroit, are you not?
I am from Detroit, and I ran for Congress after that race, David, on the issue of retooling the auto industry to be more fuel efficient, because clearly they lagged behind. But so I'm not just a shill for the industry. Let me put it that way. I almost 3 points. I'm getting closer. But here's what they have: so much technology that's in the pipeline that is just about to come to market. Chevy Volt's going to be over 100 miles per gallon. It's the first fully functioning electric vehicle. All three of them do. And, you know, keep in mind, these are interest-bearing loans, not like grants that went to the banks and financials. These are loans that will get them through this storm of sales decline. And it's not just the U.S. autos, it's Japanese automakers. Everybody. There's no credit, so people aren't buying these cars. So this restructuring, everyone's going to take 2/3 cut. That was what was required of this plan. Everybody. UAW they're going to do more. Bondholders, shareholders, and they all lose. Jeff said that the bondholders are banking on the fact that if they don't have it, that they won't be allowed to fail. Guess what? They will, and everyone therefore has the motivation to do it.
But Nancy, Americans are fed up to hear with it, and when they hear more about Chrysler, the fact that Chrysler's not Detroit, Chrysler's New York, Chrysler's owned by Cerberus, 80% owned by Cerberus. All these investors, they've only put 7% of their income into Chrysler. They're asking for the U.S. taxpayer to bail them out, and they're giving 35% of Chrysler to Fiat for nothing. Fiat's putting no money down. So U.S. taxpayers are funding rich Italians and rich Americans. That's not right,
David,
Nancy.
You want them to be successful the way Chrysler's
I want everybody to be successful, but everybody can't be successful.
But Fiat, what they're doing to deal with Fiat is they're going to bring these small cars that Fiat makes so well in Europe into the United States market so that they can start selling these cars.
Taxpayers are funding Italians to buy 35% of Chrysler. That's not right.
The Cerberus deal, the deal they cut with Chrysler, there's no upside for Cerberus. Cerberus has no upside in this. They cannot receive any profits.
They give it away.
That was part of the stipulations.
They give away something that is dragging them down. They're anxious to unhook their wagon with
Nancy,
Chrysler.
It's been done backwards, that these companies should have had the money dangled in front of them, restructured, and then they get the money versus the other way around.
Just like they did with the banks, where they just showed all 3 pages.
Just as bad. You're right on target there.
No, there is such a difference. There was a 3-page memo and $350 billion went out the door. They didn't even ensure that that money was relent. The agreement that went to the automakers is so extensive. No, they couldn't make a decision over $100 million.
That is all
executive
true.
compensation was capped.
That is all true. We are in 100% agreement that the banks, it's a travesty as well. But with these auto companies, General Motors and Chrysler, not Ford, Ford has not taken the TARP money, don't these companies, shouldn't they have had the opportunity to cough it up first and then get the money?
Well, you know what? The floor fell out like everyone else in Detroit. The sales stopped, just stopped, and now they came.
Yes,
they have a plan
for Whole Foods.
But they have a viability. But what's the difference between Whole Foods and the auto industry? I'll tell you. We know the consumer spending is 80% of GDP. When you all told all the industries that are connected with autos, it's 20%. So imagine 20% of 80% of GDP collapsing because it's broadcasting companies, it's Fox News. The autos are the biggest advertisers. It is you've got suppliers, retailers, you've got so many different ancillary businesses that depend on. This is the base of our country. It's manufacturing. It cannot fail. That's not like one grocery store.
It could fail. It could fail, and it may fail. But again, I don't want to be spending taxpayer money to make sure that Fiat doesn't fail.
You know, it was Detroit, David. I get passionate. It was Detroit during the war that came and we stopped all production of commercial vehicles and we made military vehicles, and it was Henry Ford that really gave us our freedoms. But it was Henry Ford paying his workers $5 an hour so they could buy their own cars, that created the assembly line, that created the American class and made America superpower. Now you've got us on our knees begging for money to keep this economy going. To me, it is ridiculous.
You can see why she's a talk show host. She talks and
talks. And you can see why we love her, because she does have passion, and passion works.
Love it, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Nancy Skinner. Here's the question: will there be a